Let me not say anything yet, but the Christians, them, the prophets, them have had a lot to say. Let me play this video and then we can hear on the thoughts afterwards. That sounds fair? Okay, let's go.
You praying against what God is doing. How stupid is that? It's one of the worst things to follow a blind leader. Know what God is saying. Know what is his intention. Don't jump and do things because you see others are doing it. Oh, I rebuke this hurricane in the name of Jesus. Melissa, you will not touch her. You're praying carelessly, not knowing that Melissa is the will of God for this country. I saw people saying, hey, Melissa this, Melissa that. The Holy Ghost just nudged me and said, son, I am bringing this storm to Jamaica. Because there are many wicked altars, physical altars, different things that people have buried, have raised and erected that afflicts my people. And this storm is going to destroy them. This hurricane coming to Jamaica is the hand of God to liberate Jamaica. Not to destroy Jamaica, but to liberate. Those that are in the spirit will understand. So it's a sad thing to follow a blind leader that cause you to pray against God's will. Let's pray.
Wow. Wow. So what to say right there? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that message, but a lot of Christians, apostles, people of God, were not fond of the idea that people were praying for the storm to not affect the country, because they believed that this was the will of God, and they wanted the wrath of this hurricane to basically, be met out. They wanted it to, thy will be done. They wanted this to happen to Jamaica, and probably worse, because they believe that this is what God wants for Jamaica's renewal. And who am I to necessarily, challenge what their beliefs are? That's their belief. It's an interesting take. And so I'm just here, just kind of listening and trying to make sense of everything. And I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And in the midst of that, of course, now you have conspiracy theories, people who believe that this hurricane was not natural. Take a listen to one of them.
Yo, me I say, I want to ask a question. Me see that star now, category 5. Category 5, You know? Storm everybody can report, but even though every people are report and it rain and pour and everything, I don't hear one light now, I don't hear one thunder. I don't hear one light now, I don't hear one thunder. I don't see no light a flash show, you say. Yo, sometimes I tap on me and wonder myself, and I say more question than answer, because no light, no flash, no thunder, no roll. With a storm of this magnitude, something. Yeah, I hear to once, because people are upset with me, I'm curious, because I just true sometimes I think outside of the box, and true me know say all the while I hear them thing I go and me hear light and flash and thunder roll. But another one I hear no light and flash, I hear no thunder roll. Yeah, I see rain. So yeah, I know so I see all for water, but want the light and want the thunder. You help me figure out the matter, because I try asking.
Bro, at this point nobody can tell me it's not a man-made storm, bro. Like there's something turn back, brother, that this not funny. This funny effect, bro. There's something turn back, and them literally I tell it say it a go back, so.
That's what is happening out here now. And whenever, I don't have a problem with people questioning things. I think it is a sign of intelligence to question and to ask, stuff and try to seek out more information, and not to just be so receptive to every bit of information. I do respect people who try to offer some sort of critical analysis and to look beyond the surface. I appreciate all of that. But I really wish that people also did a little bit of academic research sometimes, to just kind of put things into context, because I also had to do it. Um, and I did know before, because I remember the conversation when I was, some years ago, and when I discovered is that lightning and thunder are not necessarily a feature, a compulsion, like it have to happen in order for a hurricane to be a hurricane. I didn't know that. You get me? Then I didn't know it. I just thought that, oh, when rainfall, anytime rainfall, lightning and thunder. That is just my brain, like, oh, rainfall, lightning and thunder. Yeah, lightning and thunder, rainfall. Not even hurricane. I was like, okay, once you have no storm, lightning and thunder, that's how go on. But a bit of research, and when that was presented to me, I found out that, oh, it's not necessarily a compulsory, a mandatory feature. It's not, it doesn't have to in order for it to be a hurricane. But Jamaican people, something into something, and we're always going to be looking with a critical lens of like, I not trust this. The same thing happened during COVID. The same thing will happen to every other thing now, especially when we have access to information. Because you see, once we have information, and we see things and we are watch show, everything are gonna look like, see it here. If we watch a show now where say AI they take over human civilization, what are gonna start for pre everything with AI the way there. We're gonna say wonder, see it here, I eat this now, see it here, see it here now, see it here, see it right here. So even if it not start yet, I saw we are gonna pre. I just saw we stay. But we just hope so we offer a little bit more than just conspiracy for conspiracy case. Some people, some Christians believe that too much wickedness are going on in Jamaica. That's why I'm of the view like wickedness are going all over the world. Jamaica not that special. And wickedness did go on in Jamaica for a long time before now. And Jamaica did more than deserving. Some of the time then when the hurricane them licked the other Caribbean islands, Jamaica would have been deserving if I saw we did want to talk about it. Because Jamaica did go on sometimes some little small island when not bother nobody. And Jamaica does their escape. There was whole heap of years when all the hurricane never come to Jamaica. And say Jamaica, yeah, Jamaica does a dodge. The hurricane never come to Jamaica, and then the last minute hurricane never goes so. And I've always said at some point Jamaica's luck has to run out, because I cannot think it is going to just continue like this for 100 years, where every hurricane lick every other Caribbean island, and Jamaica does appear like, oh, we are God's favorite. We will never have any big impact. At some point, I look on it and say, so one day Jamaica will get hit with a hurricane. And because it takes so long for a hurricane hit it properly, when it does, it's going to do some serious damage. And it is going to be something bigger than normal because it takes so long. Made it kind of pre that particular way. But I'm not going to cuss off nobody with their conspiracy theory. I'm going to allow them to have it. I think, do what you do. People are there talking about the smart city. I don't believe that. But will I listen to it and squint my eye? Yes. Because I'm also kind of fast and I like hearing different perspective. Because even if it is not right, maybe there is something in there where I can look on it and say, you know what? I could see where this is coming from and what could potentially be. I will always look and squint my eye and see and kind of even learn from that. Susan says, man-made storm, no lightning or thunder arrived. And I'm just like, lightning and thunder is not a compulsory feature of a hurricane. Me never know at one point, and I found that out some years ago. That's where I am. That's where I'm saying. Right? But we know there are people who believe that the president of the United States is doing something for wipe out the whole parish so them can take over and these things. And I understand, because given the history of the US and you're seeing these things play out, may understand it is a natural thing for some people to be like, oh, see there? Oh, I hate this. Watch out. And in my mind, I'm like, when these people are doing stuff, it is going to be the moments where you don't know or don't think is when they might do it. Because to immediately think so, this is my conspiracy brain. In order to think so is to think that they're not smart. They're the persons who will do it with the situation when they don't realize, say, I hit them, I do it. Not when they think it's convenient and when it look like, oh, see, it's going to be a time when you don't even think I it. Not when it look too blatant, too strategic. Nope. It's going to come from a time when that's my personally conspiracy theory brain. But like in Jamaica now, I was very shocked when I saw church people of God that did not want prayers to save Jamaica from the hurricane. I was a little bit shocked because I thought that the Christian thing would be to, beg for mercy and want the hurricane to just, be moved from the face of the earth and for no one to get affected. But they were just like, yeah, man, clear the people there, make them get to them forget. Them deserve it, the country forget full force. I was like, oh, wow, that's a different perspective. Hold on. Let me see if I can play this video and hear what this person said.
Jamaica, the message of life and death. So you better listen carefully. The Jamaican government has once again sold us all out. But this time, it is our life they are playing with. They have signed contracts with foreign oil companies to start deep sea oil drilling off our coast. Specifically, the Pedro Bank area, just southwest of Clarendon, Manchester, and St. Elizabeth. And guess what's underneath where they are going to be drilling? A tectonic time bomb. You see Pedro Bank? It sits right next to Enrique Plantain Garden for.
Yeah, man. So that is where some of the conspiracy theory conversation is going. Suze says Smart City List 2030 Jamaica is on. It's not the eyes that are blind, it's the hearts. That's why you can't see. It is Dirtyberry, not Dustyberry. I can't believe you took a name like Duttyberry and made it worse. Listen, I'm going to allow you to have your conspiracy theory. I'm not somebody who objects to conspiracy theory. I'm quite entertained and tickled by them. So I don't believe in it. But do I believe that there are connecting dots potentially? I'm always going to be open. But this idea that this storm, this thing was man-made and it was there, so it could have just wipe out the whole the parishes them, so that the people them could have moved and do what them want to do. If that's your goal, that's your goal. Who else? There's another video here. Let me see if we can play this.
Creating their own.
Okay. Where is it? Okay. No man, the TikTok. Oh shoot, I'm forgetting the YouTube audience. Jeez, I'm YouTube. Barry, you're one of the different mindset. I appreciate you. Anything is possible about man. It's not just natural disasters. So true. Whether it is the will of God, we can still ask for mercy. I'll say this, even in the midst of judgments, the heart of the Father is one of mercy and love. And this is where I would say like, if this were a thing where you want Jamaica to get impacted, it would have impacted the people them who did out there that didn't really care about the storm or didn't care about anything, but it affected a lot of the regular everyday Jamaicans who are just doing what they can to make an honest living. You understand? A lot of those people were the ones who were really affected by the hurricane. And so I don't necessarily buy this argument for say, oh, because of the wicked and stuff and this and that. And really and truly, you are then impacting the people who have really very little to do with a lot of that. You understand? So there are different schools of thought. Religiously, people are believing that is God doing this to send Jamaica down there. And then politically, there is another conversation. So every single school and idea, there are different beliefs. You understand what I'm trying to say? People have different theories. The Christians think this serve one purpose. The Rastas them think it serve a different purpose. Politics feel like I want another purpose to go on, and all of us are just seeing that one Hurricane Melissa come. But everybody have them different perspective because we all understand that there are different agendas in the world. Yeah, man. And what I also find very interesting is how competitive the profit space is, where the profits are competing with each other to see and decipher who did predict a hurricane did go come and who did predict a so tsunami they go wipe out the whole of Jamaica. All of these things. I'm just like, I didn't know that was how the space is.
Minister
What
honoring
play
the
off?
untrue of the land. I remember before the election, I told you that after the election, there's coming a disaster. You can know, I said it on this platform, that after the election, I told you that the election could not call in no other month. If it had not called in September or called in November, we know they would not win. I told you that after, remember, I was on here, I'm not the political person. I said, after the election, there's a disaster that's gonna take the land, that the prime minister of the land will be calling for international people to help the land. Now I told you guys that a disaster is coming. Maybe and a lot of you gonna say, oh, she's just coming with it because the storm is coming. No, people that watch my live broadcast would understand and would hear I Prophetess Scott said a disaster is coming. No, then the other.
Yeah. On TikTok, people are saying technology other things. Listen, you don't know me, I don't know some of you. But let me just say this. I might not be as dunce and dumb as how you pretend, as how one might think me I operate. You get me? I'm somebody who I read a lot and I try to keep abreast of many different things in society. And I'm somebody who also likes to hear different perspectives. You can't out perspective me. If I am for something, I like to also understand why I could be against it. I just so mistake so with everything. And so I get that some of you guys would love to hear me jump in and say, yeah, I'm 100% with every single conspiracy theory. But you see, unless things reach to the level of facts, I'm very mindful about how I engage. I'm very mindful about how I engage. I'm not gonna just run up and just run in and just talk about anything without having things substantiated. And let me just go say this with Jamaican, with how this are going. I understand it a bit. Somebody said on the live, like, it's just because me don't want to say anything about the politicians them. I get what politics is. I understand that it is also an art form. It's a game. There are people who in control, heads above heads. It's never really the president. It's never really the prime minister. There are people who have more control and, will give, directives. I get all of that. I understand that concept, right? But I also don't like the idea of getting too fantastical with theories. Me no want to get too fantastical there. I try to find out like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and try to find that middle ground that offers like a balanced perspective. Because sometimes there are people who they're so deep in conspiracy, when the reality is in front of them, them cannot see it, them can't smell the roses because they're so deep in conspiracy. And I have friends like that. They're so deep in conspiracy, and when because they're a conspiracy person, it happened with everything, and not just one subject matter. Them have it in a relationship, they have it in a parenting, it's everything, full everything. They're so deep, it almost comes like its own madness and insanity. That is exactly it. Psalm 91 says, pray to God so him can open your eyes and talk in crap. Change your name from Psalm 91. I always find it very interesting when people communicate in a particular way, and some of them might be a little bit insensitive or a little bit harsh in their rhetoric. And when you go up on them page, you say child of God, you say woman of God, you say one Bible verse. And when you're looking at one comment section, they're doing everything but capturing the essence of what it is to carry the nobility of Christian life. It's always very funny to me. I find that very funny. You get me? So don't necessarily use them type of language there to still throw shade. Be a little bit mindful, because at the end of the day, I am not saying anything that is against you. You get me? Me not say nothing that is against you. Just take a breather. Let me read some of the comments. You understand? But how I know how things work, if you see one thing is true, then everything is true. So even in COVID, if there was one time where people manipulated the healthcare system to affect black people with virus or whatever, if one incident happened, now it means that if somebody fearmongers hard enough, it now means that everyone, every medication on the land is going to do the same thing. And I always say, do you think the conspiracy that you are running away from, do you think these people are dumb enough to make it obvious in front of your eyes and cause you to go in the opposite direction? Because the bit that I understand of this world, people will manipulate you by giving you the option that you believe you are also going against, including for people who are conspiracy theories. You understand? People will present you with two things and give you this that them think is cake and give you this thing that looks like it is lettuce. And because you know how they might contaminate cake or put sugary stuff, you feel you are being so different by jumping to what you think it is lettuce and is so healthy and so adamant. And when you run this way, you buck up in a situation even worse than we're over here. So, and that is what I'm always going to say. That is what I'm always going to say. That is what I'm always going to say. Don't always believe that because you have a different take and the conspiracy theorist take doesn't mean that you're absolutely right. That's all of me I say. Even though you might see two things that look like 2 plus 2 might look like it equal to 4, me I hope that when you realize that doesn't automatically mean that you're right. It's not all the time that the majority is also right, but there's also instances where the majority is right as well, or there is value in the majority's perspective. That's a life lesson that few people might get to. Some who understand it will understand it, but right now, on TikTok, I try to make somebody understand that. That's hopefully it. That's the most balanced perspective I can give, but I encourage you to do what makes you feel good, okay? Dutty Berry say, I love how you don't take their rage bait. Sometimes it is what it is. I get it. And plus, it's also TikTok, so you kind of expect a certain on TikTok. You understand that what it is. I think there's another video that I want to show that there were other church people talking as well. You have another one
where no respect for God again. The things that used to be frowned upon because God ate it, those are the things that are being glorified today. When since it cool for normalize working witchcraft, something where God ate so, him one against it so much time in the Bible, and now it is cool in free society, free God-fearing Jamaica society. We are lose it as a nation. Once upon a time, even the bad man them a walk with them Bible in them back pocket because what? Them know say even though them a sinner, God forget glory, God forget praise. Now, me not understand what I go on. You see how much disaster for liquid, how much hurricane for come and mash for down. And God divert it, make it go somewhere else because he might give you a chance. God is not like man. Even though we're so sinful and wicked, he's not like man. He is forgiving, he's merciful. So he might give you a chance for repent, and he coming like the more chance him give you, the worse we get. I can't believe say Jamaica this a glorify some things where we used to burn out once upon a.
Yeah, man. So that is what's her name again? She was a dancehall artist, and I can't believe I missed her name. I think her name is Destiny. It was Destiny Sparta. And so she gave her 2 cents as well. And a whole heap of people just talk and share. And right now, I am here with the person here. Hold on, is this one of the conspiracy theory?
People, more to not hear me out here because me have information to share too. See, simple as you see me sit down so, I'm terrified. I'm afraid. So, a couple months back, I get some some funny dreams. And majority of them come like deja vu because I see them already in my dream but them play out in a real life. However, one night I got my bed and me get a dream say I up on the top of one mountain or one in our community, but in the high up on top of one hill. And while me up there standing, brother, I look down upon the whole of Jamaica. I literally see water rise and a cover the whole of Jamaica. Now, I tell Father God, I say, Father, I do the video and post it on my page. Just see, dry it back if nothing like this is going to really happen. Because I say, boy, I don't want this to happen. You know?
You see that? Yeah. Elevate said that has nothing to do with 2030 and a smart city. I don't know, like I'm just watching everything play out, and let me see right here. Somebody say I was raised right. I was partly raised right, but also at an early age, I think I was very sheltered and I was very quiet, that I became very observant. So when I sat, I realized I just listened, and I realized that people were a lot more alike than we would think. And ultimately I got to see people's humanity, and once I got that, I found out I could have been friends with anyone. I can be friends with anyone because I believe somebody can learn something from anyone. Somebody, I always have a very diverse groups, friend group, and me taking every single bit of information and me learn from them, because as some me feel like it made me an overall better human being. I have some Christian friends where I learn faith from. I have some of my conspiracy theory friends where I learn how to question things, and sometimes for kind of look and squint and kind of dig bit on the surface. And so when we put all of them things here together, me can't get overly rage baited on certain things because me take it for what it is. Because me know people in a real life, me understand that. You understand? And so I've seen the videos. I saw the video with Prime Minister talking about the smart city. I did also see the video with what's his name? The smart city talking about that. I did also see the video where the person said that them have create a category 5 hurricane in a one lab. And I watched that interview when it came out live. And when I saw it, I was just like, we know exactly what this is going to be a part of conspiracy theory, and a part of it that I partially agree with. When I saw that, I was just like, even though they were trying to like study hurricanes and see how best them can learn from them to manage them power and all of these things, I was like, I know how this is going to be perceived. And yeah. And I also did watch something that spoke about how they would be able to use science to create water vapors to trigger the clouds into producing water for countries and regions that are going through drought and who would need water to basically replenish the land and these type of things. And so I am aware. I came to the university to do science. I'm a science kid at heart. And so I was aware of these things. And so in my mind, even then when I became aware, I'm like, if these type of technologies get into the wrong hand, that these things will know that sort of thing would be the new form of war. And this is me without even needing to go into conspiracy theory. I just have an understanding of how the world works. And even when you have an invention that is meant for good, if it gets into the wrong hands, people are going to use it for all kind of nefarious activities, especially once that reach into government. It's going to be like who have power. Me understand how certain things potentially operate. Me understand how certain things go on. You understand? But I'm not taking that bit of information that I'm aware of to then put it on this and all our Jamaican people are talk about. Because in order for the conspiracy theorists to be right, that means that what the Christians believe and all the dreams that they're getting and what God would have told them would have also been different. So it's two different schools of thoughts and approaches that are counteracting each other. So who was it? Is it a God was right, or uno believe say this was no man orchestrating thing? What is who really right? Let me go read this. Somebody said Boxfoot. I didn't even remember about that. Somebody said that they wonder how the Mr. Beast house them hold up. Boxfoot. I totally forgot that. I didn't even remember about that. I did not even remember about that. Boy, oh boy. Let me go play the video. Come and take my mind and agree with the girl
If you're not
partially.
going
Let me
to
play it.
country, shut up. Why someone on the company internet that talk about too much wickedness are going to Jamaica? Jamaicans need to repent. You're a Christian, you're supposed to depend on your knee and pray. Stop it. Other countries are doing worse and these things not happening. If you're not going to say good, shut up. Uno Christian, Miss Uno. That's why somehow Uno make people no want to go to church. Uno.
I mean, that's her take. I think right now I can read a few comments, and then before I head off because it's always at the night now, and I want to go sneak and eat the food before nobody comes see me and call me a big back. But that's my 2 cents on everything. You know, we spoke about several different things today, but I think I want to end on a little lighter, rare note. And I know the question is, who did you spend Hurricane Melissa with? Because apparently